catching and blocking are typically the skills taught on this field, but Tuesday, the JV Fenton football team was put to another test. Any way you look at it, they came out with the W. Football is synonymous with team, a sentiment the Fenton JV football team knows on and off the gridiron.
Stick together as a team and you work together, and this is a perfect example of it.
Tuesday afternoon, dozens of Tigers players coming to the rescue of an 11-year-old boy just outside Ivan Williams Field.
We were just hanging out like usual around before football practice, and we see this little kid comes up crying, freaking out about this guy.
Dude comes up by the fence, and I think he says something like, "It's okay, I'm just trying to play catch." And then me and Peyton, we were like, "Get out of here," and we chased him out.
Grabbed my phone, called 911.
The players even taking pictures of the man, his car, and license plate.
See that in a movie, someone takes a picture of the license plate.
Fenton police caught up with the man a short time later. They questioned, then released him. Now, the teenage boys being called heroes.
Everybody's so proud of these kids and so happy for the things that they did.
We all came together as a team. I think that's really what matters.
A team on and off the field, now bracing for their next big hurdle.
I'm hoping that we're going to win.
Police say no charges will be filed against the man who showed up at the football field. They say he did nothing illegal. In Fenton, Brittany Shannon, NBC 25 News. The Freeman Elementary School community gathering outside today, releasing more than 200 balloons. It was all to remember the 3 young lives taken too soon. Small hands writing grown-up words, sending messages to their friends now gone.
You don't want to see the kids hurting, and they're hurting, they're in pain.
Pained over the losses of 3 classmates since July, Cherish Hill Renfro, Treshawn Macklin, and Quantavian Jones. Their memories memorialized at Freeman Elementary with balloons and words of remembrance.
It's like saying goodbye again.
I told the angel to keep flying high.
At any time, if you need your Freeman family, we're just a phone call away.
The school offering open arms to the families of the young victims.
3 families that has lost children, all to, things that's really not understandable to us, but I'm very grateful.
School leaders urging parents not to forget about the youngest mourners, the students, while teaching them lessons beyond their years.
A lot of times you just listen, you be as honest as you can, and you shed a tear with them.
Well, Bill, the claims involve prostitution, embezzled funds, and violations of the Whistleblower Protection Act. Schreiner saying that a former employee is accused of taking funds. Meanwhile, he says he was fired for a completely different reason. And you can just feel the excitement that you're talking about, Eric. The fans here, so excited. But we spoke with businesses earlier today who are just as thrilled that all these fans are coming to downtown Midland. Now, you would think that waters this high, Bill, would be troubling, but residents here in Vassar tell me this is nothing. They remember a time when you couldn't drive your car down Main Street. You actually needed a boat.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bearing flags, grasping Bibles, Midland residents defending their beliefs.
Standing up for the rights of traditional marriage.
I am for traditional biblical marriage. We have a soapbox for people to stand on if they wish and speak forth words of encouragement.
The protesters taking their place along Jerome Street Wednesday, urging the Midland County Clerk to hold off on issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples, regardless of a federal judge's decision.
What we hope will happen is that the judge will uphold the will of the people and our state constitution.
But not all people.
See, I just got another one.
Shelley Spencer using her lunch break to support same-sex marriage, yards from where others are opposing it.
Got so upset about it, and I thought there's nobody there for the gay and lesbian people.
Those couples now having to wait until February. Meantime, Midland County Clerk Ann MANARY says she plans to follow state guidelines.
My job is to follow the law. That's what I was elected to do, and that's what I will continue to do.
Day 2 here out at Bay City. I am on board the Dennis Sullivan, and as you mentioned, Bill, it's the first day that folks have been able to get on board the boat and check it out up close. They tell me that on this ship in particular, there were 2,088 people who walked on board, and that's just today. Now, the ships sailed in yesterday, 10 of them. Today is the first big day for families and people visiting. I spoke with many spectators from around mid-Michigan, others traveling quite a distance to take in the sights, some coming from overseas to actually work the event. Luckily, the fire did not spread to nearby apartment buildings, but residents in those buildings tell me that the smoke was heavy enough that it woke them up when they were fast asleep. When you drive into the small town of Coleman, it's hard to miss this sign, recognizing the storied baseball and softball teams at Coleman High.
Our athletic program, especially in baseball and softball, has always done very, very well.
But Tuesday's performance is one for the record books.
It's probably our biggest win, yeah.
Oh, I've gotten a lot of hugs and handshakes and congratulations, and I feel a little uncomfortable with it, but at the same time you feel good.
JV baseball coach Tom Pashik is being hailed a hero.
I think I definitely did the right thing. I don't know if I'm willing to say heroic.
But his actions on the way to a game in McBain are being called heroic.
We were driving down 66 and all of a sudden a car swerved off the road, went through a wooden picket fence and into the pond.
He, along with 2 softball coaches, called 911. Then
we asked if he could get out and he said he couldn't, so we knew at that point we had to get in.
They pulled the man to safety, all of it caught on cell phone video by watchful student athletes.
When we got on the bus, they were all applauding.
But the victorious tale does not end there.
We went on and got 2 wins, so very happy with that.
The story spread like wildfire, community members embracing the coaches, students, and bus drivers' quick action.
Acted extraordinarily under really amazing circumstances, and they truly saved a life.
Well, Bill, it was a day of honor and remembrance here at the Capitol today. People hearing the stories of those who have passed on and witnessing a true American hero.
It's one of the most moving things I've ever been involved in.
The halls of the state capitol echoing the sounds of bagpipes and draped in red, white, and blue, all to remember Michigan's 9 fallen service members over the past year.
Joseph Lilly, United States Army.
Their ultimate sacrifice, something Thursday's keynote speaker can relate to. Army Staff Sergeant Travis Mills is a Vassar native. He lost both arms and legs during his 3rd deployment in Afghanistan. At Thursday's Memorial Day service, he addressed the teary-eyed family members of Michigan's fallen.
I know what they're going through, the families up there, because of the brotherhood and the bonds you make in any military service.
Sergeant Mills speaking from his heart, but not without his coined sense of humor.
I joined Toastmasters just to try to work on not saying,
Laughs aside, Travis's story of strength and resilience is the inspiration behind a bill sponsored by Senator Mike Green. Senate Bill 209 would establish a tax exemption for veteran fundraisers.
One of the guys from the VSO was there and told Travis's story, and he almost had the whole committee crying. The chairman told me afterwards, I'd have given that kid anything he wants.
Sergeant Mills plans to continue giving of himself, allowing his new normal to inspire and reach out to others. 1.4 million Michiganders are expected to hit the roads this weekend, that on top of more than 100 construction projects, and it can make driving a little tricky, but MDOT has a plan in place hoping to ease the traveling headache. Fire officials say an arson problem continues in the city after 2 fires were set within a short amount of time overnight. And good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brittany Shannon. We start in Saginaw, where a fire engulfs a building just feet away from the historic Potter Street train station. A person of interest is in custody in the murder of a 26-year-old man whose body was found at a Flint trailer park. Mount Morris Township Police say Christopher Cole's body was found at the Elms Mobile Home Park Wednesday afternoon. Cole had been reported missing in Mount Morris Township Monday night. Well, still ahead, cue those awes because beautiful babies are to come. They were in Birch Run today. Who walked away with the baby crown? Well, we'll tell you ahead.